Senate is about Nigeria and Nigerians.
Senate Committee on Banking, Insurance and Financial Institutions engages President Tinubu's economic team, seek lasting solution to the nation's economic crisis.
Very impactful life. He meant and indeed a leader that was loved by his people.
And senators eulogize late Senator Bukar Abba Ibrahim, describe him as defender of democracy. It's good to have you join us again on yet another interesting episode of Inside the Senate. I am your anchor, Aisha Muhammad Ahmed. The scheduled meeting between the Senate and the nation's service chiefs was aborted last week as the Senate insisted on hosting the full representation of the nation's security system. More details on this development in the course of the program. The Senate, however, went on with other legislative business, entertaining bills and motions, a report of which we will bring to you in this episode of the program. In addition to that, our crew interacted with Senators Garba Musa Maidoki from Kebbi South and Lawal Adamu Usman from Kaduna Central to speak on efforts of the Senate in tackling challenges of insecurity, economic downturn, among other matters. All of these coming your way shortly. Don't go away.
We are fighting for this democracy. This country will definitely improve in terms of development and progress.
Nigerians deserve better living.
What executive and the legislature, they are going to put in their best for a better Nigeria.
Thanks for staying tuned. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taoreed Lagbaja, Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ogala, and Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Hassan Abubakar, made an appearance on the floor of the Senate last week. This was in response to an earlier invitation by the Senate on the 30th of January 2024 in order to have an interaction with the security chiefs on the current security situation of the nation. Also present were the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, and Director of State Security, Yusuf Magaji Bichi. In a twist of event, however, Senate President Godswill Akpabio, while welcoming the service chiefs, noted that the Senate would like a holistic deliberation.
So whilst we welcome you, we believe that the team is not yet complete. So I don't know whether the Senate will want to proceed. But my personal opinion will be that we would like to have also with you in attendance the Chief of Defense Staff. Is it the view of the Senate? We would like also to have the National Security Advisor in attendance. Is that the view of the Senate?
In addition to the National Security Advisor and the Chief of Defense Staff, the Clerk of the Senate was directed to expand the invite to include Ministers of Defense, Interior, Finance, Police Affairs, as well as their Ministers of State. With that, a motion was moved by the leader of the Senate, Senator Opeyemi Michael Bamidele, to adjourn the meeting with the security chiefs to 13th of February 2024 by 11 a.m. For a summary of other activities that took place during plenary last week, let's take this report as compiled and presented from our studio. Keep watching.
On Tuesday, the 6th of February 2024, plenary began with announcements by the Senate President, Godswill Akpabio. First was on the reservation of 230 Hajj slots for senators and members of the House of Representatives by the National Hajj Commission, NACON.
The content of the letter have since been distributed to all senators to enable them indicate their interests and to make necessary payments before the initial deadline. So senators are expected to either take the seats or sponsor their constituents, and there's a deadline for payment.
I would like to read, if I have your permission, Mr. President.
Same day, Senator Ahmad Lawan, representing Yobe North Senatorial District, coming Order 42 for personal explanation, announced the demise of Senator Bukar Abba Ibrahim, former governor of Yobe State and a former senator representing Yobe East Senatorial District in the 6th, 7th and 8th Senates.
The passing of late Senator Bukar Abba Ibrahim is a great loss, not only to his family, but to us, the people of Yobe State, and indeed Nigeria as a whole. I seize this opportunity to express our heartfelt condolences to his immediate family, our governor, His Excellency, Right Honorable Mamala Bonisioen, and the people and government of Yobe State and indeed Nigerians.
Late Senator Bukar Abba Ibrahim passed away on the 4th of February 2024 in Saudi Arabia after a protracted illness. He was aged 72. The motion had two prayers, which were to observe a minute's silence in honor of the deceased and send a high-powered delegation to condole with the immediate family of the deceased, people and government of Yobe State. The motion was voted on and adopted, after which a minute's silence was observed in honor of the former governor and lawmaker.
May the soul of late Senator Bukar Abba Ibrahim, Commander of the Order of the Niger, rest in perfect peace.
Amen.
His advocacy and legislation.
Still on the same matter, on Wednesday, 7th February 2024, Senator Adamu Alero, still under personal explanation, sought the leave of the Senate to accord the late Senator Bukar Abba Ibrahim the same courtesy given to other eminent personalities who have served the nation greatly. With the permission of the Senate, Senator Alero gave an eulogy in honor of the deceased.
Senator Bukar Abba Ibrahim's leadership as the governor of Yobe State from 1999 to 2007 was illustratively transformative. Its administration was marked by significant infrastructural development, which included the construction of roads, provision of water supply, and the improvement in the health care delivery. He also prioritized rural electrification and agriculture, notably through his pet project, Back to Farm program.
Other lawmakers also extolled the deceased former lawmaker and governor.
He was a man of the people, a founding father, one of the founding fathers of the present Yobe State. One of those that established who were the forefront of the establishment of Yobe State, and he became the first governor of that state.
He was elected governor the same day and sworn in the same day by myself and Governor Alero and the sitting president today. I want to say that he was a very peaceful man. As a colleague, he did his job to people of Yobe State very well, and he defended democracy when the time was there for us to defend democracy.
His commitment and dedication to serve the people is exemplary and rare, in the sense that when he was the governor of Yobe State, he was nicknamed Governor of the Masses.
Mr. President, at a time when Abba was the governor, his Desert Rollers team supplied the Nigerian hockey national team with almost 9 nationals. 9 people who were playing for the country. And they became champions for 4 consecutive times in Nigeria. They became African champions 2 times and became club champions in United States of America for 4 consecutive times. And the championship was called J.F. Kennedy Championship.
There was a day the Senate considered the report for the composition of the board members of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. Mr. President, in that report, the Southeast had no representative in the proposed board. That incident threw the Senate into a rowdy session, and eventually we went into a closed-door session. When we got there, Senator Bukar Ibrahim was the first person to stand up to condemn the list. He condemned the exclusion of the Southeast from the Board of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. And he also supported that list should be rejected and sent back to the president so that the Southeast will have a representative in the commission.
He came to Sokoto on a visit. Then I was sitting governor of Sokoto State. And he brought some copies of the book he authored, Politics, in the title of the book. And it was the story of Bukar Ibrahim, how he grew up from a humble background and got to where he got to. Very impactful life. He meant and indeed a leader that was loved by his people.
Senate President Godswill Akpabio also lent his voice to the comments being made.
Every one of us will die one day, but what will be remembered for will be the lives that we touched and what we left behind. So I feel very highly emotional about the contributions of this great man. I want to thank all of us for all we have said about this great man, and I assure you that the Senate has a proper record of the contributions of this great soul. 12 years in these hollow chambers as a senator, 10 years as a governor, unprecedented, and a man who lived for the people. He did not die leaving mansions behind. He did not die leaving Rolls Royce and exotic cars behind. He died a simple man. He lived a simple life and lived for humanity.
A prayer on the motion is for the government of Yobe State or federal government to rename an educational institution in honor of the deceased. The motion was voted on and adopted.
Those again say nay. The ayes have it.
Some lawmakers headed by Senator Adamu Alero have been selected to represent the Senate in Yobe State for a condolence visit. They include Senator Ahmed Lawan, Senator Danjuma Goje, Senator Ibrahim Bomai, Senator Jimo Ibrahim, Senator Mustafa Saliu, Senator Victor Ume, Senator Aliu Wadada, and Senator Ned Nwoko.
With the kind permission of the President of the Senate and the indulgence of my colleagues, senators.
Still under personal explanation, Senator Sunday Marshall Katun from Kaduna South Senatorial District announced to the Senate the election of his wife, Mrs. Abigail Marshall Katun, as Lord Mayor-elect of Leeds City Council in the United Kingdom.
The implication of our election is that I will consequently become the Lord Mayor Consort, which is a ceremonial role.
Senator Katun used the opportunity to invite the lawmakers to the swearing-in ceremony scheduled to take place on the 3rd of May 2024 by 4:30 p.m. at the Hall of the Leeds City Council, Leeds City, United Kingdom.
Of Agriculture and Animal Husbandry Establishment Bill 2024.
On bills, the Senate in the week under review took the first reading of the following bills: Federal College of Agriculture and Animal Husbandry Establishment Bill 2024, sponsored by Senator Sivako Yaro Anthony. Federal Medical Centers Act Amendment Bill 2024, sponsored by Senator Wonye Tony. Inflation Reduction Program Special Provisions Bill 2024, sponsored by Senator Abiru Mikhail Adeto Kumbo. Child Rights Act Amendment Bill 2024, sponsored by Senator Ya'u Sahabi Alhaji. Agricultural Research Council Act Amendment Bill 2024, sponsored by Senator Etim Basi Anekang. In the committee room, the Senate Committee on Banking, Insurance and Financial Institutions on Friday, 9th February 2024, held an interactive session with the nation's economic team. The meeting, which was sequel to an earlier summon on January 31st, 2024, by the Upper Legislative Chamber, is connected with current hardship and high cost of living faced by Nigerians. The team, which was led by the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Mr. Lawal Adamu, appeared before the Joint Senate Committee on Finance and Banking Insurance, co-chaired by Senators Sani Musa and Senator Adetokunbo Ashuru. The Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, Mr. Yemi Kadoso, Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Senator Abubakar Bagudu, and Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Abubakar Kari, were also in attendance. Senators Tokumbo Abiru and Sani Musa accused the CBN of obstructing the committee by withholding requested documents like audited reports and the CBN budget, and queried the Minister of Finance about a $3.3 billion loan aimed at offsetting the dollar's impact on the naira. Musa argued against preemptively selling crude oil to secure loans deemed ineffective in addressing national challenges. The CBN Governor Yemi Kadoso reiterated the government's belief that the inflationary rate will drop to around 21.4% later in the year, adding that the Apex Bank will no longer give ways and means to the president until the nation's previous loans are repaid. Mr. Kadoso also called on Nigerians, especially the elites, to reduce their appetite for using foreign currencies in order to help tackle the exchange rate crisis. On his part, Finance Minister Lawal Adamu, while reassuring the senators that the government's interventions were yielding results, expressed sympathy from President Tinubu to Nigerians and urged for more patience to allow his administration's measures to mature. Minister of Agriculture and Food Security Abubakar Kari noted that agricultural production needs to be improved in order to meet the needs of Nigerians. He also stated the need to secure the country's borders against the smuggling out of Nigeria's agricultural products.
That was a report on activities of last week from the Senate Chamber of the National Assembly. Let's take a break to open the Senate notebook. Don't go away.
Bill referral is the forwarding of a draft bill to a committee under which purview its subject matter falls. This is so that the committee can carry out more legislative action on it. Irrespective of who or where the bill originates from, such actions are taken after the second reading of the bill. The committee is given a period within which to work on the bill and report its findings to the Senate.
You're still watching Inside the Senate, a program that brings you reports of activities from the Red Chamber of the National Assembly and its members. Like I mentioned at the beginning, our crew spoke with Senator Garba Musa Maidoki, representing Kebbi South Senatorial District, and Chairman, Senate Committee on Legislative Compliance, as well as Senator Lawal Adamu Usman from Kaduna Central Senatorial District and Chairman, Senate Committee on Basic and Tertiary Institution. One of the main issues they commented on was the prevailing economic hardships faced by Nigerians and what should be done to ease these challenges.
So, I support the importation of food items into this country so that the price temporarily, so that the prices of food items can come down dramatically to about between 25,000 to 35,000 a bag for any cereal.
What is the basic salary for Nigerians? So the hardship out there. So we have to be able to bring the CBN in notice, or they should be able to tell us what they are doing, what policies are on the pipeline, what are they doing to cushion the effect of the hardship Nigerians are experiencing.
Senator Lawal, on his part, called for prayers by Nigerians for the nation, as he assures that the Senate is doing all it can to improve the current state of affairs.
Yeah, we seek prayers from Nigerians. We are on front row seat for them in terms of economic and security. This is not going to be business as usual. We are on top of the game now, and we hopefully in the next 3-4 months, things will start be on a very good direction.
One other area of interest for us was the insecurity in the nation. Senator Maidoki commented on this, stating the success already being achieved by the Senate in the fight against insecurity in the nation.
Zuru area and the Zuru Emirate and Yauri Emirate were almost overrun by bandits. I can tell you more than 100 villages were ramsackled, completely emptied and burnt down before the advent of this government. And I raised that issue up in the Senate, and that matter resolutions were done, and that resolutions I had followed up in the Senate. And to the glory of God, of the 100 villages that were displaced, I think only one that is yet to be liberated.
Senator Maidoki thanked President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and security agencies for their efforts, but maintains there is still more to be done.
You heard of the problem in Mangu, and even in our area we still have pockets of problem, but we don't expect the problem to just evaporate within the 7 months or 8 months of this administration. These are the problems that were inherited. I can tell you, before this government, we had complained, we had cried, and I tell you, we never got a response from anybody. So I'm proud of the achievement of the security service so far. Abuja has become a unique case in the sense that every apparatus of government and foreign nationals and foreign embassy reside here. We cannot tour with the security of Abuja.
Those were Senators Garba Musa Maidoki from Kebbi South and Lawal Adamu Usman from Kaduna Central speaking on efforts of the Senate in improving the security and economic situations of the nation. Up next is our profile segment. Stay tuned as we present to you our Senator of the Week.
Senator Babangida Hussein Uba represents Jigawa Northwest Senatorial District in the 10th Senate. He was born on the 6th of February 1964 in Kazaure, Jigawa State. His tertiary education started with a Bachelor of Arts degree from Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, after which he proceeded to get a Master of Science degree in Public Administration from Nigerian Defense Academy, both in Kaduna State. Senator Babangida Hussein Uba began his public service career with the Kano State government in 1991. An outstanding point in his service to his state was his stint as a chairman of Jigawa State Universal Basic Education (SUBEB), during which he promoted education as a vehicle to safeguard their future against ignorance and poverty. His time saw the inflow of children who were out of school due to parental poverty. In 2011, he transferred his service to the Federal Civil Service and rose to the position of Permanent Secretary in the year 2020. He assumed office as a Permanent Secretary at the Federal Ministry of Defense in September 2020, before his redeployment to the Federal Ministry of Works and Housing in December 2020. In recognition of his service to humanity, he has won several awards and honors. They include Outstanding Leadership Award, National Association of Yoruba Students 2018, Distinguished Merit Award, Voice of Northern Nigeria Students 2018, Certificate of Conferment as Grand Commander of Arewa Students Forum 2018, Certificate of Conferment Oduduwa Youth Congress 2018, Certificate of Merit and Award National Association of Nigerian Students 2016, Certificate of Appreciation and Award Kazaure Emirate Council 2015, among others. Senator Babangida Hussein Uba currently serves as the Senate Committee Chairman on Federal Roads Maintenance Agency (FEMA). His legislative agenda includes human development and empowerment, health, education, and security.
With that, we come to the end of this week's episode of Inside the Senate. Follow us on YouTube and Facebook for more updates on activities from the Red Chamber of the National Assembly and its members. Thanks for watching and see you next week.